It's an old guitar, and I found it years ago. I was staying at the King of the Road Hotel down in Nashville working on a record, and I found it in a record store or an instrument store, and bought it for a couple of $100, and now it's my main Martin guitar for on stage.
And there's a little thing cut out that says, "Anger can kill you." Is that just a little reminder for you?
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, I've got a short fuse too, sometimes.
Still?
Yeah, it reminds me.
Yeah. Because you seem like such a calm, gentle person.
Well, I try to stay that way. It's part of my. I really try to be friendly and get along. Songs of anguish in there. There's songs about this nightmarish song. But a guy's having a nightmare. He's dreaming and he's saying, "At night I'm drifting on a sea of despair. I see a bimbo and there is no body there." That's where are the girls in my life?
So that does seem to be a theme, right?
Yeah. It's always been that kind of a theme.
But I think of the documentary, and you very explicitly talk about some regrets in that documentary in terms of relationships with women over the years.
I regret it very much. A lot of it. I created emotional trauma in a whole lot of people, and didn't really know that I was doing it at the time, but I was hurting people's feelings. I learned to be very careful about that after many years in the business. But the trauma that I have brought on to other people, I regret very highly.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about your music. And not just the new music, but the old music. And I was thinking to myself that somebody who's my age grew up with your music. I know your music so well, and I love it. But there are people who are watching this who maybe are new to Canada or are younger, and they don't know your music. If we were to make a playlist, kind of the essential playlist of Gordon Lightfoot for some of those people to understand what should be on it, at the top of my list, I'd put If You Could Read My Mind.
Carry the load. But I worked real hard and I wrote a lot of songs, and I learned a lot of songs is what I did. I started playing 12-string and I learned a whole bunch of songs, and I got to the point where I could sing in bars and lounges. With the Canadian flavor to them, and of course to feel that I got from being a part of the folk revival by listening to people like...
Happy for you. And for folks who haven't had a chance to see it, they definitely should. It is such a great story, really, about your life, and you get a chance to tell it. And we see pictures and videos and things like that. Overall, when you had a chance to see the final cut, what were your thoughts?
Well, I'll tell you, this kind of like fun. I'm glad that actually they didn't go any deeper, because but I don't mean that in a bad way or a mean way. But it was done like with in a classy way, and it was they get into some sensitive topics, and they handled it well, and I liked the flow of how it all began, and the watch of the airplanes and that crazy tune for Lovin' Me, which I no longer use because it was such a chauvinistic piece of work, and I didn't understand that though at the time, and I wrote the thing anyway, and that was a song that I did like a duet with Johnny Cash on his TV show, and all this material was available to them, and I said, oh no, not that song, and there it was. But now I accept that. I understand what Joni and Martha meant when they tackling it from that particular perspective, because a lot of stuff happened right at the very beginning, like right in the late 60s. Got to be like in the business a long time. I don't know how I lasted this long, but I certainly don't mind being here. I like being part of that totem pole, which we talk about, and it's fun to be able to do it. There's been moments when I have not been able to do it. There was times when I wondered if I'd ever be able to do it again, and here we are.
Hey, and welcome back. Gordon Lightfoot, a phenomenal Canadian singer and songwriter, sadly passed away at the age of 84. Gordon Lightfoot is famously known for his classics like If You Could Read My Mind, Early Morning Rain, and The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. It's no doubt the world, and Canada in particular, has lost one of its genius storytellers. This can be told from Gordon Lightfoot's interviews and career background. I hope we have listened carefully to his interview and learned something from it. Please keep the comments respectful. He told us a lot, from how he started his career, how he wrote his stories, his lessons from relationships. He told us to be careful and so on. Drop us your comments and let us know what you learned from him, and drop your memories, and keep his family in prayer. Our thoughts and prayers goes to his family and loved ones, and may Gordon Lightfoot's soul rest in eternity. You are watching Touch News Media, and please consider subscribing and turning on your notification bells so that you don't miss out on any videos that we upload. I love you guys, and stay safe. Bye bye.